Hi guys, here's another quick tips from Give Me Signs on sublimation. So, sublimation, number one, you need polyester. I keep seeing a lot of people coming right into getting a new Epson printer and converting it over to sublimation, and the first thing they want to do is make a cotton black shirt. Nope, don't do that. That's not what sublimation's for, guys. You need light colored shirts, white preferably, and as high a poly count as possible. It's a science-based ink infusion. So basically the heat will activate the ink. That ink will turn into a gas. The gas will then attach to the poly fibers, and that's how you end up with the sublimation. Much different than a pigment just laying on top of the shirt or whatever else you're putting the print on. So sublimation is mainly for the feel of it. Sublimation becomes the fabric, in other words. So you won't feel any kind of pigment. That's why we use sublimation, is that it's the feel of it. A lot of people say they don't want to use polyester shirts. They want to use cotton shirts. And so they create these sprays. Some are already readily available. I'm not going to give out the name of the companies, but a lot of people are starting to do these at home. Please, 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 warning, do not do that. Especially if you're going to be giving these things to other people. Poly min wax that you're going to get at Home Depot used on wood is made only for wood, ceramic, or tile. It is not meant for drinkware. It is not meant for garments. Please do not make your own formula and spray this on a shirt. It's extremely, extremely toxic. Know that, guys. And if you don't believe me, pick up the can that you just bought at Home Depot, look up Minwax, and look at the warnings about even using it on wood. You're supposed to be using gloves at all time. So putting that on a piece of fabric that you're going to be wearing is extremely dangerous. So you know, you can do some research. Recently, I think it was about a year ago, it was in the news. A company had made a bunch of iPad covers covered in that stuff, and it gave a toxic reaction to a bunch of kids. And all they were doing was carrying around their iPad, and you should see the skin burns. It was horrible. So please, when you see people responding to you saying you probably shouldn't use those, there's two reasons. One is that, which is a big enough reason, I think. And two, it won't last, guys. It's not true sublimation. All you're going to be sublimating is that spray that's on the shirt. So as soon as that spray falls off the shirt, your print's gone. So it's not good to do that. And I wouldn't sell anything to anybody just for the risk factors. Okay, beyond the shirts, what else do you need to make good sublimation? Now this is a big can of worms, guys. Everybody has a different setup at home. Some people have small presses, big presses. Some people have the easy press. Some people have professional, heat presses. Some people have the very cheap ones you get for $100 off Amazon. So all of them work. Just so you know, it doesn't matter what you have. Just know you're going to have to kind of find your sweet spot. Everybody has a different system. So there's going to be some trial and error, especially with sublimation. It's not like HTV because it's more of a classic printing. So I come from a graphic design background, but if you do not, it might be a little bit of a learning curve for you guys in the beginning. Okay. The main thing that you have to do also for good, solid prints are 5 things, okay? And those are color correction. This is one of the biggest missed things when printing sublimation. One, you have to have a program that works in CMYK. You have to have a program that you can do color correction in. That would not be Design Space by Silhouette. That would not be the Cricut design, or which one is it? I don't remember which one's Design Space. But the ones that you get with your Cricut or your Silhouette that people use to print out stuff, that's great for HTV. It is not great for sublimation. You would want to use Photoshop, would be my preferred program, or Illustrator. If you don't have those programs or you don't want to pay for those, that's okay. There's a program called GIMP. That is a Photoshop program. And there's a one called Inkscape, and that is a free Illustrator program. Either of those will work fine. GIMP is pretty easy. I'm going to be doing some tutorials to show you how to do some basic color correction, but that's later on. But you have to have a color correction, and you have to have something that prints in CMYK because you want your file CMYK to match the inks in your printer. Remember when you adjusted your printer and there's 4 ink cartridges? CMYK is what matches up to those. So if your file is RGB, which most of you guys are printing, especially if you're using Design Space, it's going to shift because there has to be a transition from the RGB, which is 3 colors, to the 4 colors. So there's an interpretation that happens, and you usually see this in blues, reds, purples. You'll see it shift quite a bit. So be aware of that, guys. That's why you should be using something like Photoshop, Illustrator, GIMP, Inkspace. Those are the best ones to use. Okay, 2, you want to make sure that you have the heat and the time and the pressure all dialed in on your machine. That takes some time. Also, you want to make sure that your printer settings are correct. I have another video here where I set up an Epson 2720 to do sublimation, and I go over the settings that you have to set. It's a combination of all those things to get a great print, and it takes trial and error, guys. So don't beat yourself up if you're doing this and it's not coming out perfect right out the gate. It's okay. It didn't do it out the gate for most of us, so it's okay. It's a learning curve. But I'm going to try to put up some videos of the whole process that I personally use to go from design all the way to finished printed product, and what settings I'm trying to do and what I'm looking for and how I'm color correcting to make sure I get the best prints. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, this was just a quick update for you guys. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to try to do individual little videos of what I just talked about to kind of explain more of why you would want to do certain things in color correction and all that stuff. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon, and hit the like and subscribe, please. It helps me out. It helps me continue making videos for you guys so you guys can learn more stuff, and hopefully I can get some more feedback from you guys of what kind of videos you want me to make. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Till the next time.